Good morning and welcome to 2020. We're Veteran Central here. Christina Smith with Caliber Home Loans.
And I'm Jim Trouts with EXP Realty.
And we're back
Yeah.
with full force in 2020.
Ready to rock and roll, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So with the new year comes new opportunities, and Christina's been sending out a number of emails talking about, in particular, about VA loans and some new things that have come along with VA loans to make it even better for people to get one, right?
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act of 2019 has removed the VA home loan cap. So there is no longer a cap for loans above conforming limits.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit more because as a veteran, one of the things that I look at and I say is, okay, one of the things that's most attractive to me is that I don't have to make any kind of a down payment, and I don't have to pay any kind of mortgage insurance premium.
Right.
So that's still the case, correct?
Correct.
But I'm guessing now there used to be times where in some cases you did have to make a down payment. Can you explain what that used to be like?
Right. If you're outside of the conforming loan limits.
What is that?
Conforming loan limits for 2020 in some areas is for $510,400.
What does that mean, conforming loan limit?
So the max amount of loan that you can get without a down payment.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
And then you also have high cost areas. Virginia happens to be a high cost area.
Right.
And those max conforming limits are $765,600.
Okay.
Now for VA home loans, there's no longer a cap.
Okay, so just to kind of recap, the way it used to work is most people didn't have to worry about any kind of a down payment in a VA loan because they were within that conforming limit, right?
Exactly.
But if they went above that limit, they may have had to have some kind of a down payment.
Exactly.
And you're saying now we don't have to worry about that at all because this new law removes all of that, right?
Correct. Yes.
So go out and spend what you want to spend. You don't have to worry about it. Right?
Yes, exactly.
All the more reason to get a VA loan.
Exactly. All the good things in 2020.
All right. Anything else you got going on?
So today we were actually going to recognize a veteran as well. And then I know you had somebody you were thinking of.
So I want to recognize a good friend of mine, a mentor of mine, Ann Jewel Urban. Now, Ann was a mentor of mine when I was a young sailor. She's kind of the one that told me, hey, look, sometimes it's better just to be a leader as opposed to being right all the time, you know?
Yep.
And she kind of mentored me along. She retired, highly decorated naval officer. And as a person, she's just an inspiration to people in a number of different ways. So I want to recognize Ann and say thank you for being the mentor you were to me. And thank you for being the friend that you are to me.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for being a mentor to me.
Yeah. So we talk about new opportunities, and springtime is coming along, right?
Yes. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for this upcoming spring market, and we have the time right now to do that.
Right.
Yes.
So one of the things that I've been telling my clients is, look, if you're thinking of buying a property in the upcoming year, or if you know of somebody that's thinking about buying a property, now is the time you really need to start getting prepared for that.
Absolutely.
That means now is when you need to start talking to somebody like Christina, getting all of your loan documents set up,
get all your ducks in a row,
getting your pre-approval done, getting through underwriting so that when you're really out there in force with everybody else that's going to be out there, you've got a leg up on them. You've already got your documents submitted. You're already pre-approved.
For a certain amount.
Right. And it makes you a little bit more competitive when you're out there because you've got all this stuff already set up.
Exactly.
So, and there's going to be a lot of people out there when the springtime comes around, right?
It's a competitive market.
Right.
And that's why you want someone like Jim who is well-versed in contract negotiation.
Sure.
For his clients who are well-prepared.
Right.
And just to touch a little bit on how that process works here at Caliber, we have, just to reiterate, to be determined underwrite. So to be determined address. So you're not under contract yet. Underwrite, where I get all of your documents and everything up front, and you go directly to an underwriter.
Right.
So it's not just me looking at everything in my processor. It's an actual underwriter who's approving your income, your information.
And that's really a selling point for you as a buyer, especially if you happen to get into a multiple offer situation. Because as your realtor, I can go to the listing agent. I can say, look, they're not only pre-approved, but they've already been through underwriting. They've met almost all the conditions they would need to meet. They're all set to go. The only thing they may have to do is provide an employment statement later or something like that, but they're solid gold. And that really is a selling point, especially when it comes to being in a multiple offer situation with other people who may not be in that
Exactly.
position. It just makes you a really solid buyer. It makes you a good bet for the sellers to be able
Yes.
to accept the contract. And it's just a win-win situation for you, for the sellers, for everybody involved, right?
Right, and
Yeah.
I, as the lender, who's done the work with you and seen it firsthand, can actually call the listing agent as well, and
Sure.
reaffirm that you
Great
have
idea,
done
yeah.
your due diligence, just to make it an even stronger offer for you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we wanted to just let you all know that we're going to be doing another Facebook Live.
We are.
Without Santa hats this time because we're in the new year.
Right.
But it will be in about
Boy, it
2
was
weeks
hot
from
last
now.
time, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was. It was. We had to take them off partway through. But we thank you all that were there. We had a lot of fun with it. We're looking forward to the next one. We'll be doing those pretty much monthly.
Right.
So we look forward to having you guys all with us.
Well, and it's really good opportunity to sit back, to ask questions, to cover a lot of things. The way this typically works is that you guys might ask some questions. You'll type them into your computer, and we might not be able to answer you directly right there, but at least we'll be able to talk about the subject. So, anything and everything you have a question about, whether it be pre-approval or how to look for homes, or maybe you're considering refinancing and you want to know how to do that. I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do to help you out. So, what day we're going to do that on again?
We were going to do that 2 weeks from now, so it's January 29th.
Right.
And we're shooting for 2 p.m.
Yep.
So in the afternoon, right after lunch, you can come in and talk with us. If we can't answer your comments right then, like Jim said, we will make sure to follow up with you.
Yeah.
And get all of those covered for you.
Hopefully we'll both be over our colds by then.
I know, and we'll sound a little bit more normal. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our video with Veterans Central. Thank you all for your service. I'm Christina Smith with Caliber Home Loans.
And I'm Jim Trouts with eXp Realty.
We hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
See you later.
Bye.